Hey, Bill here with 30-Minute Woodshop. Thanks for joining. Today, we're going to be building a farmhouse style quote rack. Super easy, super simple to put together. Don't need a lot of tools. I also have a blog. You go down below, there'll be a link to my blog giving you the plan for this thing. Also, there's links to a number of different tools I use and some materials. Go ahead down there and explore those. And of course, like always, hit like and subscribe. And hey guys, let's start cutting. For this project, I'm using pine. This particular pine, as you can see, has a lot of problem areas. I had to go in with CA glue and make sure all the knots were glued in, and then actually fill in some of the pitch pockets with CA glue. You may have to do that because wood today, when you buy it from the big box stores, is absolutely horrible. But it's cheaper than buying some wood, and this actually works really well for the thing I'm trying to do, which is going to be a farmhouse style lake cottage coat rack, and the folks really will like it when I'm getting done with it. It'll have that cottagey, up north kind of look to it. So first thing I'm going to do is cut it. I'll make it 2 foot long, so basically mark and cut 2 feet. I'm going to give it an extra ½ inch so that both my pieces come out the same. And we're ready to start cutting. I have to say, I love the smell of fresh cut pine. Okay, ready to cut a groove. I'm using a Freud dado blade set to 3/8 of an inch, which will cut about halfway through this piece. And we're ready to make some noise. And there we have it. Nice fit, nice and tight. So let's move on. Okay, again, super simple project. The big thing here is going to be sanding. So I'm using 80 grit because there's some bad spots in this particular mess that we call pine. If I failed to mention it before, make sure you're wearing safety glasses and hearing protection. Marine Corps artillery, so I still have hearing problems from that, but that's okay. Happy to serve my country. On that note, let's get cranking and we'll make some noise. Okay, because I'm going for a shabby chic cottage look, I'm only going to 80 grit. That holds the paint a little bit better, especially when I'm going to put a wash on it. If you're using something different, like you're going to varnish or something, I suggest you go down to 220 and run through the grits. But for me, this is going to be good enough. So the easy thing to do, throw some glue in this and throw a few screws in the back. And that's going to be it. Right now, I'm just trying to decide which side I want up. I think it's this side. Got a pitch pocket there. Pitch pocket. So, I mentioned this earlier, but it bears mentioning again. When you have things like pitch pockets, which are these strips here where there's actually pitch will sometimes ooze out. They're really bad for your finish. You put finish over them, the stuff will come out. Hit them with CA glue, thin CA glue, and hit them a couple times with that, and generally that'll seal it up so it doesn't come through your finish. So I'm thinking I'm going to do this side. So all I need now is some glue and a couple screws. Okay, one of the things I forgot to do, well, actually decided late, was to round over the edges. Here's a trick. We're going to be putting one of these edges in this dado. So what I did, I don't know if you can see this, but I actually took a magic marker, felt tip pen, and I marked that edge to make sure that I don't round that edge. So all I'm going to do is just give it a quick round over on all these sides, an 1/8 inch, just enough to knock the edges off, so you don't feel those sharp corners. You don't have to do that in the plan. I don't call it out simply because most of the time you're just going to break the edges, but I happen to like the 1/8 inch, especially with pine, because pine tends to splinter sometimes. So it'll take care of that real quick. Again, safety glasses, hearing protection. Have at it. So I'm not going to do the back because that's going to go up against the wall. But all the rest of the surfaces, with the exception of the side that's going inside the dado, is all set. So let's get busy. I'm using a waterproof glue, Type Bond 3, mostly because I have it here. Okay, we're glued. Now we get to nail. Or let me rephrase. Now we get to screw it down. So I'm using a 1 5/8 number 6 exterior grade galvanized. A lot of angst has been going around the internet about using drywall screws. 90% of the time, don't worry about it. They're just as strong as anything else. I've run several tests on it. Unless you're going to be building a house, don't worry about it. And you can see those couple of screws drew it up nice and tight. And there we have it. All we have to do is wait for the glue to dry, and we can start finishing it. Well, the paint's dry. Finish looks really good. It's a nice wash, so I can still see the grain through here. See the knots. Looks very much like a lake house or a cottage hanging board, coat board. So all we got to do now is put on the coat hooks. If you go to the my website and pull up the drawing, you'll find I used pegs on that. For this one, I'm not using pegs. I'm actually using these double coat hooks, and we're going to place these about 2 inches in and then about 6 and 5/8 between, roughly. So let's see how well I do here. And about 1 inch up roughly. That should give me plenty of room to hang the coats up here, get them hooked in, plenty of room for side to side, and make it real easy. So, let's see. So this is a 1 inch spacer board, about 1 inch anyway. I don't actually know what it is. I know it's smaller than 1.5 inches and larger than 3/4 of an inch. So it's good for me. And do a quick check. Almost right on. Yep. Yep. And of course here, 2 inches. And not quite. There we go. We're pretty close. So the point there is, you could do a lot of this by eye. You'd be amazed at how easy it is once you start doing this to eyeball it and come up with the right proportions. So this is basically what we're gonna have out there. These 4, so a total of 8 hooks should look great. There'll be a great place up here to throw hats and gloves, and all we have to do now is screw it on. Here's your tip of the day. Put these in place. I use 2-phase tape on the back, and the reason I do that is because once I stick the 2-phase tape on it and push it down, these pieces won't move while I'm pre-drilling holes for the screws. And for this, the screws are small enough, I really need to pre-drill the holes. So all I do is put on my spacer, I have pre-marked some center lines for my holes in here. Push down on it, and we're good to go. So let me finish the last one, and I'll be right back. Farmhouse Coat Rack is complete. This was a really fun project for me. It's one of the reasons I do these kind of things. They're fast, they're fun, they're easy, and I can get them done quickly. Also, too, there are people who need this kind of stuff, so this is going to a good home in another week or so, up to a lake cottage. So, excellent, easy to do, doesn't take a lot of work, okay? A lot of fun. In the bottom, I put some links for some of the materials, especially the coat hooks. Take a look. There's also links to some of the tools I've used. For instance, I have a Vicks bit that I used to install these. Handy little tool to have. The 30-minute workshop is all about doing things quickly and easily. So these tools really help out, and they really make my job easier and faster. They can make your job easier and faster too. So check those links out, do some exploration. Also down there is a link to my blog. In the blog, there's a plan for this. So feel free to click on that and download that. It's a free plan. Add that to your personal library, and you can build your library fairly quickly by watching. something out of this. I know, like I said, I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you got something out of this. This will inspire you. Please hit like and subscribe. Don't forget to click the little bell so you can be notified next time I post. And hey folks, until next time, good making.